Will Jordan Devlin make mincemeat out of Dan Maloney? We've got Xia Brookside facing the bully Rhea Ripley, and an outstanding match between Noam Dar and Mark Andrews. Everyone, raise your beverages. It's an NXT party.
Support, no DQ.
Contract signing with Pete Dunne and Walter. Will he power bomb someone? He's Walter.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to the NXT party for episode number 36 of NXT UK. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
And tonight we have two special guests. We've got the holiday Chris Mace. How are you doing, Chris?
Doing good, y'all.
And we've got the Duchess, Cindy G. How are you doing, Cindy?
I'm doing good. Well, I am still a controversial member of Team No DQ, but you know what? I'm just a human being, so let me go ahead and sip on that.
There you go.
Well, I'm doing great. This was a great episode of NXT UK.
Fantastic.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
this is one of those where I didn't go in with very high expectations. I thought maybe next week would be sort of a go-home episode before NXT TakeOver New York.
Yeah.
But this was a sleeper show. This came out of nowhere and knocked my boots off. That's a phrase down here towards the south. Anyway, we start off the show.
Down yonder.
We start off the show sort of surprising anyway. Jordan Devlin comes out and I'm like, promo?
No. He's dressed to wrestle.
Ding, ding, ding. Bell rings as he's coming to the ring. So we know it's a match. Jordan Devlin versus... And then it was kind of like, Dan Maloney.
We're like, why?
Come on.
Why you do us like this?
But this was actually a really good match.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't fabulous or anything spectacular, but it was a really good match.
It was really well laid out. It was a perfect opening for the evening.
These two paired very well.
I was about to say, Dan Maloney actually showed offense and was just great in this match.
He was great at selling in this match, let me tell you.
Oh my God, yes.
I don't
he
have
was.
a whole lot of notes, not like I do for the last match of the show, but I've got a few. But before I get into them, Cindy, what did you think about this opening match?
That was really an excellent opening match. Like, damn. Even though Dan Maloney's name, yeah, he's going to be fall under the whole WWE change the name to shorten name situation.
Is he going to be Dan or is he going to be Maloney?
He'll be Dan.
They're gonna bridge it. It's gonna be Deloney.
Baloney? Oh, I like that.
D apostrophe Aloney.
And everybody will just call him Baloney.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But I did give kudos to, well, let's just say Dan for now, since we're talking shortened the name. He did sell pretty well, and that gives me more respect to him. But then Jordan Devlin, yeah, he's getting better and better every single time
by the
he's
week.
in the ring.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh God, his finishing move in this match. God.
Yes.
Okay, so Chris, what did you think about the match?
Like I said, this is the reason why I keep saying Devlin is the MVP of the NXT UK. Whether it's a short match or a long match or any kind of match you put him in, he's going to deliver no matter what you put him in. He's going to deliver every single time. And that's what he did here tonight as well. He delivered again.
Devlin
this is why
for
they need
first
a
European
mid-card
champ.
title for this man to put on him. Bring back the European title, y'all.
Yes, great
First
minds
European
think alike.
champion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Devlin for first European champ. That's what I'm shouting from the rooftops, man. He is the very epitome of mid card.
Yes.
So, and he is the best heel, other than maybe Zach Gibson, but he's out with a
I
broken toe.
was about to say even Joe Coffey's kind of like pales in comparison at this point to Jordan Devlin.
Yeah.
Devlin is he is
Yes.
on par with his character. So I've got several notes here, but before I get to a few of these spots, Jerry, what did you think about the match?
The match was like, just to start what you said, a sleeper show. This match really took me by surprise. I was not ready to take any notes. I was enjoying my Domino's pizza. I was just, finishing up a couple texts. But then I started hearing chops. And I look up and Dan Maloney's just fucking lighting up Jordan Devlin. And I'm like, okay, this is getting a little serious.
Yeah.
And then we start actually seeing like a great wrestling match just form out of these two, pretty much forming out of nothing. And I'm starting to realize that Jordan Devlin is kind of like that ring general already, really shortened to his career. The fact that he could get into a ring with either enhancement talent or he can get in ring main event talent.
Finn Balor.
And he could put on a great match. He can dictate the pace of the match. He can adjust to any kind of style. He is a hybrid. He is awesome. And his music kicks ass. I don't care what you say.
I can't stand the repetitiveness of the don't. There's so many. I mean, We Will Rock You. What's the one? Anyway, we could go into a lot of music.
Yeah, we can.
But
Yeah.
it's just so repetitive. Use the same theme, but expand it. Let a rock band do a song with that as the theme during the chorus or whatever. Okay, so I've got the spot you're talking about, the chops that woke you up.
Yeah.
These 3 wicked chops in the corner from Dan Maloney. And then he comes off the ropes into Devlin's Greatest Hits Volume 1.
Yep.
If you don't know what I mean by that, that is the first of the series of moves you're definitely going to see from Jordan Devlin.
Yes.
So Uranagi into a standing moonsault.
Dan Maloney bounced off the mat with that Uranagi. And then, right as he was coming off the mat is when Devlin came up with the standing moonsault at the same time. He came down with them. It was just beautiful and crisp looking.
Then a bunch of more match and several good spots, but then Devlin comes in with that slingshot cutter, gets a near fall off of it.
The
and
Irish
then,
Ace Crusher.
Yeah. And then does a backflip float over out of the... Okay, so Maloney comes in for a lariat, I believe, off the ropes. And Devlin backflip floats over... I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Anyway... Gets him into a standing position, headbutt. And then from the headbutt where he's laid out, he's just got him by the arm like a ripcord. Pulls him up into that fucking back body drop. Oh.
That back body driver.
Back body driver.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying forever that he needs to get a pinfall off of that move because it's fucking devastating. He usually does it out of the corner. This was just right up off the mat. Straight into it. Puts a little bit of a twist in there. It was brilliant looking. 1, 2, 3, Jordan Devlin.
That's right. That's the part that really just sold me on the match. Like, the match was already solid up until then, but Devlin's face, like when he was pulling him up initially for that like ripcord, was just wicked looking. I'm like, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be. Oh, he nailed it good.
And that move is, of course, Volume 2 of Devlin's Greatest Hits.
Usually Volume 3 is the Ireland's Call.
Yeah, we didn't even make it to Ireland's Call. We got the pinfall right here. But that is Dan Maloney. I would say he gets the pinfall here. Or takes the pinfall. So up next, we've got Cassius Ohno coming out. He's definitely not dressed to wrestle. He's out here to cut an apology promo.
He's there to speak from the heart.
Off of his phone.
Yeah, he did
Off
good
of
job
his
there.
phone. That was the part that got me. I'm here to speak from my heart. Pulls out his phone. Ladies and gentlemen, audience members.
I'm so sorry for my actions and what I did and where I came in the ring and woke
Ashton Smith.
Ashton Smith up just to put him back
Just
up.
to knock him back out again.
And he says, I did it because I liked it. That's the reason he came here. He said, I came to NXT UK. Oh, actually, he says, they
asked for me.
him. They gave him they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. So he went fucking Godfather. Anyway. And then he turns this around into talking about Travis Banks, who's a plant from New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's acting like he's American or acting like he's British or fucking whatever. I don't know. It was okay. Jerry liked the promo. I just thought it was
I like the promo because it started off almost like Jericho's old ones where he would apologize for ripping the ring announcer's jacket, and that would never, ever happen again. And that's what kind of vibe I got off that promo. And then he launched into the whole, I did it on purpose.
If you see my eyes rolling, this was the first of like 3 or 4 times this guy referenced Jericho through this whole fucking show.
It was a very Jericho-laden show.
A lot of Jericho references. What did you think about the promo, Chris?
I thought it was a good promo. I thought it was him just being purely facetious about the whole damn thing.
Good word!
I like how he's trying to set up a feud with Travis Banks. Like I said, now let's see how that goes in the ring in a match, though. Because, like I said, we have our ups and downs about how Travis Banks can perform. He's with the right opponent. He can have a good match like he did with Devlin. But, like I said,
There's a right opponent for Travis Banks.
It depends on how good of a match they're going to have in this feud and what's going to happen from here.
And Cindy, your take?
Well, it is a pretty solid promo from Ono. I like the fact that he put Hero in it, kind of like a nudge to his indie name, Chris Hero.
Yep.
Hey. Yeah, I mean...
No Mitchell wife beater, though.
Besides that, I mean, his promo's solid, but you have, like, the whole crowd booing the hell out of him.
Yeah, he's playing a good heel.
I was like...
He's been a pretty good heel lately.
Well,
He's like...
Not the most entertaining, but he's a good heel.
Yeah, he's a good, solid heel. He's very traditional in that sense.
So from heel to face, we got a video package promo for Dave Mastiff. And by that I mean it was both video package and him doing a promo to the camera, interwoven. They're really good about this in NXT UK.
Well, they're really good at everything they do.
Well, definitely NXT. NXT UK is getting there. Basically, Mastiff is talking about never showing weakness, and he keeps talking about a father figure in his life. He doesn't want to say his dad.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't his dad. Maybe it was his uncle or his stepdad or his grandpa or who knows.
So I guess that's where they come into play with whoever he ends up feuding with. They're saying you don't even have a dad. You got a father figure.
Maybe, maybe, but
yeah, a George Michael song is what you had.
In this case, somebody taught him to never show weakness, and there's a lot of shots in this promo or video package of him working out and lifting really heavy weights, and so I guess he's coming back finally.
Yeah.
Yay!
Given the placement of this promo, are we right to assume that he may be actually going against Devlin here soon?
That would be nice. I'd like to see Devlin be the first person to beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be the case too.
Well, one would hope. What do you guys think about this video package, Cindy?
I like it. It just shows that he's coming back bigger, better, and stronger. Simple as that, as what Noah Foster said.
Yep.
What about you, Chris?
He's ready.
Pretty much it's just showing he's ready to come back and just how strong he is, and he looks like he's ready to go.
So before our next video package, we get an announcement. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to have Toni Storm versus Jinny for the NXT UK Women's Championship.
Finally!
Which kind of makes me believe that that's going to be a dark match at NXT TakeOver New York.
Yep.
And they're going to end up all the dark matches for TakeOver are going to be for NXT UK instead of for NXT. Because they said NXT was going to have a different format, I believe.
You think they're going to have it like after the pay-per-view itself, or you think they're going to like be filming some stuff prior to it?
Who the fudge knows?
I know the Archangel James is going to be at TakeOver.
Sweet, so he'll be able to he'll be able to clue us in on what's going on.
Maybe we could get him to Skype in during the recap.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this prefaces the video package that we're going to get for Jinny. You know, one half of this match, and she's in India.
At a training facility in India.
Training facility, or maybe just a scouting facility.
It was a training center. It was more or less one of these things where it's like almost like a gym that I guess they can go to during like tours and whatnot.
Jerry thought this was a sign that NXT India was next.
They already did like one through TNA at one point, venture into India. So and WWE did also, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't shock me if they actually did venture into NXT and start, doing the Hindu type vibe.
I'm just saying, if NXT Australia is not the next one on the list, then they're not doing their jobs right.
I want it to be Brazil. That way they have a green brand.
Well, England makes sense. They speak English. Australia makes sense. They speak English. Germany doesn't make sense because it's so close to NXT UK that most of the German talent you can just put in NXT UK.
And we get to see them later.
What about Canada?
Too close to the U.S. Most great Canadian wrestlers already wrestle in the U.S.
Well, you also got to figure they already have the North American
there.
title. So, the North
Same thing with Mexico. There's South America, there's Africa, there's Asia, Russia, there's Japan, there's Australia. Australia makes so much more sense because they already speak English. It's already built for American television because you don't have to translate.
North Korea would be bomb.
So, just saying, once it becomes like there's a half a dozen of them, then I really don't care where they are because I'm not going to be watching all of them.
Yep.
I might start watching NXT Australia because I won't have to worry about translation.
But Jenny pretty much cuts her promo about, her upcoming match with Toni Storm.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yes. But we get to a match right afterwards.
Yeah, up next is Xia Brookside versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry. I love you, Rhea. This was not really a squash match. Last one was a squash match.
Yeah.
This one was... It showcased Xia Brookside a little bit, but I mean, come on. Who thought she was going to...
Realistically, Xia Brookside had no chance in hell of winning this match. Her dad could be like one of the main trainers of the facilities. Wait a second. He is.
He is.
But at the same time, no, she was not gonna bullies prevail here. Okay.
I have quite a bit of notes on this. What did you think about it, though, Chris?
I was surprised it wasn't a squash match. I thought it was going to be an easy win for Ripley, but like I said, can't even pronounce the dang girl's name. I don't want to call her the girl with the blue hair, but
Xia Brookside.
But like I said, she put up a little bit of offense, so I was kind of surprised. And you had that one near fall. You thought, oh my God, this ain't going to happen. She's not going to upset Ripley. And thank God she didn't. I was like, that'd be a big mistake if they did that.
Yeah.
Oh, that would just knock her completely down the ladder.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But they didn't do it. And like I said, Ripley got the win with the Riptide, so that's what I was happy about. But what happened after the match is what I was interested in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, get into that, Cindy. What did you think about the match and who came out afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, the aftermatch.
Well, I thought at first it was going to be a squash match because of, how with the sides with Rhea and Xia Brookside, it's it's going to be a less than 2-minute match. But nope, it went longer than that. And I must give props for Xia Brookside for sticking up her guns and trying to, defeat Rhea, but fail. Of course, Rhea.
Yeah.
Shit, she's jacked.
Yeah.
Well, Xia's jacked too, but not to the extent.
And her entrance is
And
great.
y'all-
The music is awesome.
The music is awesome.
Oh,
Just her
yeah.
sheer presence in general.
The
Everything
Tron
about it.
graphics
Yeah.
are wicked looking.
Especially when she stomps and even
Yeah.
then the static gets even worse. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
badass.
But it's like 3D static. It's
Yeah.
amazing looking. What did you think
Mhm.
about the match, Jerry?
Okay,
Yeah.
5 words. Shut up, you peasants.
Oh, that was great.
Or
they heard her.
shut your
Yeah.
mouth! Shut your mouth, you peasants! We heard her, and it was so glorious to hear.
The whole crowd heard her,
Like
and
the
they loved it.
promo?
Yes.
Dang.
When she screamed it during the match.
Yeah.
She actually had Xia Brookside by the hair. She's like, "Shut up, you peasants!"
Yeah, they had just been chanting something
Yeah,
against
I was
her.
like-
Yeah, I think they're chanting for Xia, and sure enough, that didn't work out very well for them. But yeah, Xia Brookside actually got a good amount of offense compared to what I thought she was going to get into, which was
Yeah, she picked
Nothing.
up some momentum there. She got a Hurricane Rana on Rhea, and then double knees into Rhea's back as she was praying to the corner essentially, and puts Rhea's face right into the turnbuckle, and then she goes up top, and Rhea catches her with a wicked right hand.
yes.
And she goes up for a superplex, but Xia slips through and counters into a tree of woe.
Whoa!
And then basement drop kick on Rhea while she's in the tree of woe, but then whoa. And then
Whoa.
Rhea rolls outside. Xia goes up top with a crossbody to the outside, which was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then she comes
That got the crowd chanting, and that got her pumped up. So if the crowd wasn't already awake from Maloney versus Devlin, that this match actually kept them even more kept them going at least.
So back in the ring, she goes up to the middle rope, comes off with a ticket to ride, Kaida to the face, Kaida to the midsection. Depends on how you look at it. Got a near fall off of it, but then Rhea ends up with the Riptide out of nowhere and pulls off the match. I mean, it was Rhea. It had to be Rhea. She could not afford to lose here.
No,
she's had too many losses.
So she cuts after she kicks Zaya out of the ring. She cuts a short promo saying that she's the dominant female. Yeah, I'm the dominant woman. I'm a dominant woman.
It is kind of a quirky promo,
but since we have our resident dominant woman in attendance, we should go ahead and let her make the announcement of who shows up after that.
Yeah, who comes to interrupt, Cindy?
Well, after Rhea Ripley cut an outstanding promo, even though she calls Zaya Brookside kid, I'm like, Rhea, you're like 23, 24 years old, and Zaya Brookside is like 20, 21 years old. Come on now. But,
that's true.
Sorry. Yeah. After she said, she's looking for more competition, and she's like the most dominating NXT UK women in the roster, all this stuff, and then lo and behold, cut to the music. Your 2017 Mae Young Classic competitor, Piper Niven, which in the indies she's known as Viper. That she came out, rushed, getting to the ring, and Rhea was out.
She didn't rush to the ring, but Rhea did leave.
Yeah.
And then she gets in the ring. Piper gets on the microphone and says, "You're the dominant female in NXT."
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And that's all she says. And this is the kind of feud that Rhea needs.
Yes.
And this is the kind of match she could lose and not lose any face. Yeah. She definitely can't lose to Zaya Brookside though.
No.
Thank God she didn't.
Well, honestly, I was hoping that Rhea's partner should be Jazzy Gabbard, who also competed in the NXT. The 2017 Mae Young Classic, of course, and she recently signed to NXT UK long ago, like during the Takeover Blackpool.
Yeah, but is she physically a matchup like Piper Niven is?
I was about to say,
I don't think so.
Physically imposing wise, this match makes a lot more sense right now.
Mm-hmm.
So in the back, we've got Radzi behind the camera interviewing Isla Dawn, who's watching this match and Piper debut, and he asked her about it, and she's like, "Well, it's nice to see another fellow, I guess, Scotsman or Scotswoman,
Scotsperson." Sorry.
And cue the other Scotswoman who debuted only a week or two ago.
Yep.
Kaylee Ray nudges up next to her and says, "Sounds like you think we're all, Scottish and we're family hunky dory." And she's like, "I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win."
Yep.
So she's like, "And maybe you'll be the next victim." So I thought that was cool. What did you think about this promo or interview or whatever you want to call it, Cindy?
No, it was kind of like a decent promo for both Kaylee Ray and Isla Dawn. I mean, it's just going to be just like a one-off match thing. See who's going to be who's a face or who's a heel type of matter. But it's just to build up. I could see there's possibly going to be an alliance because, as we all know, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion is all on 3 brands, but they didn't mention the NXT UK brand. But that's just my crazy / stupid theory I have in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who knows?
Just pour your soda, Jerry. We know the cup doesn't magically fill up. You're fine, man.
I know.
Oh.
I just like keeping it off camera, man. I try to. Watch out for the vicious slap from Walter! Like your chest, it hurts like crap, he's Walter!
That's beautiful, man. So up next we get a video package for Walter, just to kind of pump him up a little bit for this contract signing, because everybody already knows Pete Dunne is the champ for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
600 and some fucking days.
674 days.
Okay. Yeah.
I will get into that because we'll talk about Walter later. After that, we've got Radzi interviewing Trent Seven in the back, and this is setting up a new feud because Radzi's talking about Joe calling him
Dead weight.
Dead weight. Yeah, Joe Coffey calls him dead weight. And honestly, Joe Coffey should know about dead weight because he is pulling the dead weight of Wolfgang and his brother Mark in Gallus. So if anybody would know, it should be him. What do you think about this promo, Jerry?
If anything, I always say this, like Tyler Bate is definitely the talent in Mustache Mountain, but Trent Seven, when he's actually dressed up in a suit and gets to talk on a microphone, he is a very charming and very awesome, well-spoken person. Like, if he ever gets injured or to the point where he can't wrestle anymore, he's going to have a solid career as a manager or just like maybe like an interviewer because he's got that presence and charisma to him. But at the same time, like him being an opposing opponent against Joe Coffey at this point, I know we're just trying to build him up a little bit more, but at the same time, I think if he loses to Joe Coffey, it's going to put more of that seed of doubt in his head if he actually is good enough to be champion, or if he just needs to step away. Who knows? But it's gonna be one of those do or die situations, especially since we're gonna be getting the match. So,
what do you think about this interview with Trent Seven, Cindy?
It's very outstanding. I mean, I always wonder, like, who's the better Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate or Trent Seven? After seeing his past matches, especially his recent independent wrestling appearance in Canada, I saw on independentwrestling.tv. Well, technically, he was part of the 6-man tag team match. I would say Trent Seven has like more of the talent than Tyler Bate. Don't get me wrong. Tyler Bate is really incredible, but Trent Seven has a little bit more of like the high caliber as part of the British Strong Style. So, freaking amazing his interview, but also his in-ring ability as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to what's going to happen. Watch his upcoming match.
What about you, Chris?
Like I said, when he's dressed up, he looks like he's dressed to impress. Like I said, he's very well spoken. Like I said, this match with him and John Coffey, I said it's going to be interesting because it's got to be one of those do or die matches for him.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, he wants to prove that he could be a successful single star. Maybe he's debating about, do I really need to be part of Mustache Mountain? Can I do this on my own? I mean, but also at the same time, I feel like John Coffey needs to win too. They need to build momentum as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who pulls this off and how this match goes.
Yeah,
It's Joe.
Yeah.
it's Joe. So up next we get Inception. It's a selfie promo with Eichner and Bartel, but they're holding up a phone watching the promo of Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan from last week, where the funniest part of the whole show last week.
Yeah.
This was great, where Williams was trying to get Jordan to be able to do this insane pull-up, and they just kept going through take after take of him unsuccessfully doing it in funny ways and trying to use a ladder, and it was great. But Eichner and especially Bartel take exception to this, because they're like, this isn't funny.
Yeah.
Like,
wrestling is not supposed to be funny.
And even Bartel says that mat is sacred.
They both say it at the end, and that is just badass.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think about the promo, Jerry?
Dude, we were sitting there after Trent Seven. I'm like, that was a great promo. I'm really enjoying the show. How can it be made any better? Then sure enough, Eichner and Bartel show up on the screen. I'm like, yes! And weirdly enough, like, Stephanie and I agree on this. The fact that, like, I actually mentioned this, that they don't need to be going against Zach Gibson and James Drake at this point. They're on their second. They need to have another opponent somewhere in between there. Why not Eichner and Bartel? And then sure enough, there they are. Yep, pissed off that these two clowns are going to be considering themselves like worthy competitors for a tag competition. So,
take a breath.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I get excited when I talk about the two. They're an awesome team.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm actually looking forward to that match more or less because you have the two conflicting styles. You have the high speed aerial tactics of those two, but then you have like the strong like mat based style of Bartel and Eichner's strength and crazy amounts of agility. So that's gonna. I can actually see that being a main event on an NXT UK program. But at the same time, I know they're gonna probably put it in the middle of the card, which is fine by me too. I just want to see the match.
Yeah, I just can't wait to see Eichner and Bartel wrestle again.
Oh, that's me. They can wrestle
Pretty
two
much.
sacks of spuds, and I'd be happy.
Couple of blow up dolls. You know, whatever.
Lightweights, 205 live guys.
I'm getting there. I'm down to
Yep.
206.
He's down to 206 people.
I bet by Monday I'll be at 204. I'll be eligible for the pre-show. So up next we have the last match of the show. Notice I don't say main event. This was not the main event. The main event was the contract signing. We've got Mark Andrews versus Noam Dar in a show fucking stealer.
Yes, it was.
I have a lot of notes for this match. If you notice the brief pause, we stopped because this is about to get long. I didn't want this show to go over an hour. Good one. Before I get into, basically, I'm about to run down this whole match because the whole match was amazing. Cindy, what did you think about this third match of the night?
Holy hell, I must say this match was match of the night. I wish both guys should have had this match on 205 Live because that would be another great main event match, but both these gentlemen, they knock it out of the park. But shame about the ending, and now I know the real reason why.
We'll get to the ending.
Yeah, we'll get to the ending.
Yeah.
Let's not spoil it yet.
Yeah, which I'll hold up. Yeah.
Chris, what did you think about the match?
Pretty much what I thought about after I saw it was, oh my god, what the fuck? That was fucking amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, and who'd have thought?
Just everything about that match. I like the psychology. Like I said, that was a damn good match. Like I said, not spoiling the endings. We're not getting into that yet, but I was like, the ending was just like what the fuck. But like I said, we'll get into that here in a minute.
Once in a decade, this ending, and we will get to that. Let's save that as best we can, because you'll see. Okay, Jerry, what did you think about this match?
This could have easily been a throwaway match. This could have been like run-of-the-mill garbage, pretty much just the start of the program.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
especially with Mark Andrews.
Yeah, Mark
He's been
Andrews
absolutely predictable over the last 2.5 months. Just repetitive, the same stuff over and over and over, and you can even call it.
And he's been like, it's pretty much like really shoddy to the point where now it's getting more losses than wins.
And he's losing,
yes.
A lot.
So he needed this win. He needed that momentum. And Noam Dar coming off like seemingly his 18th return to the company, like from any kind of injury or just time off, but he hasn't really impressed me really that much at all either. But then they put on this, I'm going to go ahead and call it, they put on a Cruiserweight Clinic, man. They were just all over the place. There was submission, there was ground attacks, there was reversals. It was just a fantastic match. The finish left a little to be desired, but at the same time, it actually felt right at the same time because, like, well, naturally it had to end, but at the same time, there's like this respect at the end from not just from the two wrestlers themselves, but the whole crowd. The crowd took to their feet. They could have easily been pissed off by this ending and felt ripped off and cheated, but they didn't because they saw something special.
So what Jerry's alluding to, I will get to. I'm going to break down this match.
Oh, absolutely. You do your thing.
Go for it.
Awesome.
Yeah, go for it.
Seriously.
So I actually start the notes at the beginning. Dar and Andrews are both dodging all of each other's offense. So you're already seeing the basis, the groundwork laid for, as Jerry put it, the respect. Because these guys seem to know each other pretty well.
Yes.
And they're not trying to go for anything cheap, really. But they know each other well enough that they're just dodging all of the initial attempts at offense. It was great.
You could tell at the time that they actually had the match, and before then, there was a lot of tape studying and probably like, pretty much a lot of tape studying for them.
So Noam Dar goes to throw Mandrews to the outside. He counters with a 619 into the gut. That was pretty sweet looking.
Mm-hmm.
But Mandrews is on the apron, and Noam kicks his feet out from under him and puts him face first into the fucking apron. And then comes off the ropes with a running basement drop kick into Mark's head and shoulder. Knocks him off the apron. And then I put down here a note. I love the way Noam Dar keeps trying to calm the crowd down. Just like...
Yes.
He's like, it's enough.
Simmer down now. Simmer down now.
And Noam drapes Mark over the top rope crotch first. This was great. Another hilarious spot. And he's arguing with the ref like, oh, I don't have a rule book. I don't know.
I don't know what's allowed here.
I couldn't see anything.
This is England. I don't know.
This was great. Dar hits a snapmare on Mark's leg off of the middle, or snapmare onto Mark and hits his leg off the middle rope for a near fall. And then Mark does that spot where he slides under the clothesline and then does the overhead kick.
Yep.
That was pretty cool. He's going to try that later. And then Mark hits this wheelbarrow roll through, right? And then lays out Dar, hits that double stomp.
Stomp 182.
Yeah, the stomp 182.
Yep.
When you told me the reference for that, I was like, duh. And then, where are we at? So, Dar rolls. So he hits the double stomp. Dar rolls away, all the way across the ring outside.
Yeah.
And then Mandrews goes for a suicida, and then rolls Dar in, does a corkscrew moonsault for a near fall, which I think he was trying to do before Noam Dar rolled away.
Yep.
And then, let's see, Dar dodges he dodges Mark, okay, so Mandrews goes towards the ropes, and Noam Dar just, ducks underneath him. And so, Mandrews trips backwards over him. And then Dar is immediately up into the ankle lock.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get to do the grapevine, and Mandrews rolls through that, sends Noam Dar to the outside. And then, where am I at? So Dar flies outside. Mark jumps to the outside in the corner, does a moonsault off the apron onto Noam standing on the outside. And then we go to get back in the ring, and this time Mark dodges that leg sweep on the apron, and he ends up hanging Dar up over the top rope. He goes for a leapfrog, though, like he's going to jump in like Eddie Guerrero would do. But instead, Dar turns around and kicks his legs out from under him, and Mandrews comes down face first onto the fucking apron. That was sweet looking.
Yep.
And then... outside, Noam grabs Mandrews in a cravat and ends up running with him in the cravat and throwing him into the steps. That was nuts.
Yes.
And then inside, Mark goes for that stomp 182 again, but Dar counters into the ankle lock, and this time he gets the grapevine, and he holds this for a good while until Mandrews finally gets to the rope. And I think Dar lets out a yell, and this will come into play later.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
So they get back up, and Dar goes for Mark's leg. I think they're in the corner, but he ends up getting kicked in the head, and he goes straight down. But when Mark goes to climb the ropes, he can't get to the top because his leg hurts too bad. So he does this spring up, like one step at a time, both legs onto the bottom rope, middle rope, and then he comes off with I call it a split leg moonsault, but I'd say a non-split leg because he was on the side and his legs were together. But a moonsault onto Dar, doesn't hit it square, gets a near fall for that. Crowd starts chanting, "This is awesome! 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 Hilarious! Just so great."
The crowd in general was just on fire tonight. It was great.
Yeah, and this was a great spot for the crowd to get hyped because now it's time for the breakdown.
Never gonna
Yeah, they're back in the ring, slugging it out. Dar goes for the knee, and then double chop to the throat, double chop to the gut, and then he goes for a European uppercut, but Mark Andrews counters that, and he ties him up for a backslide, gets a near fall off of that, and then Mark goes for that slide again under the lariat into the overhead kick, but he can't get up into the overhead kick, so Dar takes advantage and clocks him over the back of the head and the neck with a forearm. And then we're almost there.
Tries to suplex him.
Yeah, then he tried. This is where Jerry's like,
NXT UK general rule number 1.
Yeah, he
never try to suplex Mark Andrew.
Well, even you called it. You said, I know this match isn't over because we haven't seen the Stundog Millionaire yet. And immediately Mandrews puts Dar puts Mandrews in a fucking vertical. And he doesn't even get it vertical. He gets 45, it about 45, yep. 50 maybe. And then Mandrews turns it around into Stundog Millionaire. And then at this point, Mark Andrews goes for a reverse Hurricane Rana. And it doesn't go well.
No.
Oh.
He lands wrong. Either he twisted too much in his backflip, or Noam Dar didn't backflip soon enough.
It looked like it was problems on both ends, because they were both swayed, they were both tired, both exhausted.
Yeah, Mark Andrews comes down shoulder first into the back of Noam Dar's left leg,
right near the meniscus.
He buckles his knee, and immediately he goes down and he calls for the ref, and the ref gets up and he puts up the X over the head. Which, if you're a long-term wrestling fan, or even some short-term, if you know what that is a real injury.
The senior referee in this match, or senior referee in NXT UK, is Drake Wirtz, formerly Drake Younger in Combat Zone Wrestling.
Yep.
All sorts of German companies. He actually was in a Walter video package because he's faced him over in Germany, so he knows how tough he is. But he's very familiar with that X, especially with all the hybrid wrestling and hardcore wrestling he's done. So when he's calling for something like that, you know it's serious.
So what do you do? I guess their call was to play up both men's injury. They called for a no contest because neither man could continue, they said, because one guy's knee just got taken out. The other guy's knee, Mark Andrews, was worked over the whole fucking match, and it was in bad shape, kayfabe-wise.
So that works out, really.
So both guys get hauled off. They put Noam Dar, who's actually injured, on a rolling stretcher, and they put Mark Andrews on one of those stretcher boards that 3 refs are carrying. And on their way up the ramp, Noam Dar puts up the double thumbs up, and so does Mark Andrews. They're playing up both of them injured. My idea.
Let's mention this first. So the crowd, the second Drake put his arms up, like they knew what was going on because the lights kind of dimmed down a little bit. They stood up and applauded regardless.
Yeah, the crowd was brilliant to these guys. They understood, and they thanked them both for the match, especially Noam Dar. They chanted Supernova a lot. My idea, though, was
it's a brilliant one.
If you're gonna fake Mark Andrews getting stretchered up the ramp, then call an audible, send out Eddie Dennis to attack Mark Andrews while he's strapped down to the stretcher. Where he, like a Rey Mysterio style, where Big Show put him into the fucking ring post.
Yes.
You know, obviously Eddie Dennis probably isn't going to do that to Mark Andrews, but he could beat the shit out of him, and it plays right into Eddie Dennis from the beginning of his career. The promos that he talked about despising Mark Andrews for getting into the business while he couldn't because he was injured.
I could actually, well, the thing is, right after you mentioned that, I could actually see him doing like a modified version of Severus Bridge, like in the ring with like Mark Andrew on that stretcher board.
That would be brutal looking, actually.
Yes. So that whole idea, I was just blown away by, and I was actually waiting for either Noam Dar to pop him off the stretcher or Eddie Dennis to show up. And neither one of those things happened because this was a legit injury. Hopefully the two are okay and we'll get to see them again in the ring soon.
But like I said, this is once in a decade kind of thing where you actually see an injury happen on television, let alone tapings. Normally they would, if this hadn't been such a long and great match, they might have cut it out.
Yeah. I think that's why it was kept too, because the content of the match up until that point was brilliant. So I'm gonna have to give my hats off to the 205 crew. I'm guessing because that's kind of stuff they're doing and everything. That's just
Now,
great.
Chris, how do you think this match was supposed to end?
Oh, see, I was thinking that Noam Dar was going to end up winning is what I was thinking was going to happen. But like I said, after what happened, I was just completely shocked for like what the fight to go back and thinking like on Ted. So I was like, okay, did I miss something? What the fuck's going on? Then when I see the X, you know, oh shit, he's really fucking hurt. And you see the replays over and over again. It's like, oh shit. But just the fans, the respect they gave these two for the effort they put out there. It was just amazing. It's something I don't see very often, but that was just the much love and respect that the fans gave to them and chanted for them, and they gave them the thumbs up and everything. Like I said, it was such a damn good match until that end when it was like, what the fuck? It was like one of those shocking moments of the year to me in a match. Like, what the fuck?
But Chris, you have to like agree with Steph and I at this point. We didn't really feel cheated in the process either.
This is the second match that ended in a no contest or a double. The first one was a double count out with Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic.
We
was
couldn't
not
be
disappointed
mad.
with that one either. How do you think this match was going to end initially, Cindy, before the tragic accident?
Well, I thought Noam Dar is going to be the one to pin Mark Andrews, but then now explain why Mark Andrew didn't able to come to Alpha One Wrestling and replace him with Wolfgang. I had to message my fiance after the referee did throw an X, and I was like, dear, is it the reason why Mark Andrew didn't go to Alpha One because is he injured? And he's like, yep. I was like, thought so. P.S. I just watched NXT UK.
They could say it on. They could.
I think he's kayfabe injured. Because if he was really injured, he wouldn't have kept going in that match.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they're playing up the kayfabe injury with him, even though Noam Dar got actually injured, means that he was going to lose that match.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the only reason they would have stopped the match. Otherwise, it would have had like some sort of screwy finish or anything, or like if Mandrews was actually injured in any way, shape, or form, and Noam Dar seemingly wasn't, they would have had that weird finish where all the medical technicians, everybody are out there, and then Noam Dar just kind of pops off there and just like throws Mark Andrew back in the ring, and they go from there. But yeah, the fact that Noam Dar couldn't continue the match only shows that he was supposed to win it.
Yep. So, before we get to the main event, we've got an announcement for next week. We've already talked about these. We're going to get Isla Dawn versus Kaylee Ray. We're going to get Trent Seven versus Joe Coffey. I look forward to next week.
Next
Should be a
week's
good
going
show.
to be great. Dropkick some in like a truck from Walter. Would you like some making fuck with Walter?
Did he just say making fuck?
Yes, he did.
And then
Same
the
thing.
main event. We get Johnny Saint and Sid Scalad come out. It is time for the contract signing for the WWE UK Championship match at NXT TakeOver New York.
And thank you for calling him Johnny Saint.
I have it written.
I
I had the worst habit of calling him,
John Laurinaitis?
yeah,
Or Johnny Ace.
Johnny Ace. So I've got a few notes here, not quite as many as the match, but before I talk about it, let's go with Sydney first. What did you think about this contract signing?
Just like a very simple contract signing, nothing too extreme or too boring about it. I mean, both guys did cut a pretty excellent promo, but mostly Walter did knock it out of the park, to say so myself. But overall, it's just your standard contract signing, which, like I said, I'm looking forward to this match, and I believe this match is definitely going to be the opening match for TakeOver New York.
Yeah, possibly. I still think we're going to get the third tag team match in a row at NXT pay-per-views.
Be sure to check out our prediction video that we actually posted like on Aftermatch Wrestling. We'll do the plugs later to see.
It'll go up on No DQ soon.
Yeah, on No DQ.
Please,
soon.
Aaron,
I got a message
please
to boss
upload
about
this
that tomorrow. So, what'd you think about it, Chris?
Like I said, it was different contract signing. They didn't have a full part brawl. Nobody went through a table. Like I said, Walter is damn sure confident himself. Like I said, after that video package they showed, hyping him up, I said, you need to hype this man up anymore. I said, you know this man's a dangerous man, that damn ring. You know he's a badass.
That welt they left on.
He's pretty much dead set. He's going to take that damn title. He is dead set going after Pete Dunne. He's going to take that damn
title. No, that other dude.
Shit out of him doing it, too.
What about you, Jerry?
In this promo, I saw something that like I hadn't seen on Pete Dunne's face since I've actually started watching NXT program.
Doubt?
Yes. Not fear, like just pretty much doubt. Like there's that seat there, it's like this could be the guy that like potentially takes my title. He's not afraid of him in any way, shape, or form. He's more afraid of actually losing what's like more or less has defined him for almost 700 days. And I think that's going to drive him even more to succeed, and that's why I'm still like in his corner in this whole thing. But Walter surprised us, is what he did. He finally, like after weeks upon weeks of him not saying a damn word, we finally got to hear from him.
Peter.
Peter. And the fans start chanting Peter, which is great.
I laugh.
Peter.
It's like just by adding an R, the crowd just ate it up. Peter.
Peter.
He sounds like a Bond villain.
I really didn't expect this contract signing to break down into any kind of battle or
near did I.
Violence, or let alone the table get broken. They're saving Walter's violence for a heel turn, and they're still milking the fact that he's right down the middle. We don't know where he's at yet.
He's going to be very much an anomaly. He's going to be like the Undertaker type thing, where for a long time you don't want to hate the guy, but you don't want to like him either. He's just going to be right there.
Well, Walter comes out first. Of course, he's the challenger to his awesome, classical ring music that makes him sound like fucking Jaws.
Yes. You know what? You know why I think they do that? Because I've learned that like the Great White Shark is pretty much like the perfect predator. It's never had to evolve. It was just pretty much born perfect, and I think that's why Walter has that theme, because they consider him the ring general. They consider him the man, the perfect wrestler. So,
I guess
I'm thinking that's what the case is for that.
Then Pete Dunne comes down. They sit, and Walter signs. Nothing said. He puts the contract in front of Pete Dunne, who grabs a mic. And I'm like, you know what? The one person who says less than Pete Dunne makes Pete Dunne have to say the whole fucking promo.
Yep.
And he says to Walter, you don't have to say anything. He said it's not just the WWE universe that wants this match, because Sid Scala was hyping that the crowd and the
European
fans all wanted this match from the time Walter debuted. And it's not just the fans that want this match. I want this match. Dunne says he's been champ for 674 days, and he's the bruiserweight. NXT is his, the WWE UK Championship is his, and it always will be.
Yeah.
And he goes to leave, and that's where Walter says, Peter.
And Stefan jumped out of his seat.
What? He fucking said something.
He talked. And he sounds like a Bond villain.
And
he
says,
does. I mean...
And I wrote this down phonetically so I can hopefully say this right. Dinah Zides is Abkarov, something like that. And he figured out what it meant.
Yep, your time is up.
Your time is up.
Oh,
He says, I could just reach over there and put you through this table right now, but I don't need to do that because I don't need to prove my point. He said, like I said, your time is up, and in New York City, the reign of the Bruiserweight will end because this title is mine. And I imagine if he'd have said that to Marcel Bartel, he would have replied with,
9!
But he didn't. In this case, Pete Dunne doesn't actually say anything back. We just get a pose down. Walter's sitting there with his arms behind his back. Pete Dunne raises up the title. He doesn't do his gimmicky punch to the face.
Because he doesn't have, he doesn't have
He
that.
holds up the title. And this is how we go off the show. And this brings us to the end of the main event. And on the NXT party, we rate the main event with a spot of tea. 5 spots of tea, actually. And so we're not doing the final match. This is the main event. It is the contract signing, which usually brings it down a few stars when it's not a match. But we'll see. Out of 5 spots of tea, let's go with Cindy first. Where do you rate this main event?
Well, the contract signing, well, this is a pretty, let's just say, very classy contract signing because there's no brawls, no, like, back and forth promo, like, the extension of it, but just keep it, like, one person say something and then the other person next, and then pose down, that's it. With that being said, I'm just going to give it a 3 3/4.
That sounds fair. What about you, Chris?
Yeah.
Like I said, it was pretty much a basic contract signing. Like I said, it wasn't a pull-apart brawl. It wasn't somebody went through a table or anything like that. But it served its purpose to me. It made the match feel that damn important the way Pete Dunne, he responded with just very few words, and Walter making sure he got his attention going pizza, and then saying what he had to say, and then posing down. Like I said, you know right there, this match is probably, I think this match right here is going to steal the show at TakeOver. So I'm going to give it 3 7/5 cups of tea.
3 3/4. Nice.
Okay.
3 3/4, whatever.
he's like, you guys keep your metric system. I don't give a shit.
Just for reference, the main
We can
event.
tell Canada.
Just for reference,
Jerry
the
and
main
Stefan.
event of NXT last night with the Dusty Rhodes Classic final, Jerry gave that 4 stars.
Yeah.
Just for reference. So, Chris thinks highly of this segment. What about you, Jerry?
I'm actually going to go with 4.
Wow!
I'm going with 4. There's reasons. There are plenty of reasons behind this too. 1, they were smart enough to leave Walter silent until this contract signing, because that made it that much more epic. The fact that he actually spoke at this signing, it made it feel that much more important. It's almost like Silent Bob from the from the Kevin Smith films. Anytime Walter opens his mouth, it's not to say anything ridiculous. He's going to say something wise. He's going to say something important, and you need to listen. And sure enough, that's what we did. The second he broke out without his German dialect or anything, you and I had our phones busted out. We're holding it up to the screen. We're trying to figure out what he's saying, and we're just kind of losing our minds about this because anything he says right now is law. He is the #1 contender to Pete Dunne's belt. He's the major threat at this point. Like I said, Dunne's face didn't show fear, it showed concern. Lots of concern towards the fact that one slip up and is all Walter needs to take his title away from him. So you have those things going on. You have the fact that this is going to be the match that's going to be representing NXT UK. This could possibly build a bigger audience for them at this next show, and all those combined. Plus, I'm going to go ahead and give it the extra quarter spot like you would, because of the importance of the fact that the whole card tonight was just perfect. It set up so many freaking matches. We have the possibility of Ono versus Banks. We have Piper versus Rhea Ripley that could happen. Possibly Mastiff versus Devlin. Who knows? But this show was solid.
Yeah.
And for the main event to more or less be a contract signing, but still keep us enthralled, easily 4.
So are you going 4 1/4 off the extra, or does that bring you to 4?
That brings me to 4.
Okay.
It still wasn't a match, but at the same time, it was so much more than just an in-ring promo.
Yeah, I think Chris and Cindy's complaints about it being, no pull apart bra, none of that stuff, I think that makes this more interesting for me because it's less predictable.
Exactly.
Usually when there's a table and a contract signing
or cake,
somebody goes through the table.
if there's cake involved too, holy shit!
I didn't expect to hear Walter speak, and he spoke, and like you said, it was rendered important because he hasn't spoken up until this point, and so that was a big thing. I don't know if I would give it 4 stars because it is just a contract signing to main event the show, which is a played out thing. It just...
Well, I think they're going to have contract signings for title matches anyway, because the last one they had for the TakeOver was Joe Coffey and Pete Dunne, and Pete Dunne told me he talks too much.
I would be okay with a contract signing being the last segment that we see for Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, only because they have overbooked it way too far at this point.
They just need to
that
stop.
is a safe landing spot for Raw on Monday. This, however, I will go 3.5, and I will give it an extra quarter off of a really great show. So I'm going to agree with Chris. I'm going to give it 3 3/4 spots.
Well, Cindy did too?
Yeah,
Oh,
I did
everybody
3
did. Oh,
quarters.
I'm the only one to give the extra quarter. But that's okay though.
I gave it the extra quarter, but that was only off of...
Well, I mean, the fact that I gave the extra quarter off the 375.
all still pretty close, though.
Yep.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT
This
party.
fantastic episode.
Yeah, well, it was
Oh,
a fantastic episode of NXT UK, so usually that determines sometimes how good of an episode we have. But let's get into the plugs. Let's start with Chris. Where can we find you?
I say you can follow me on Facebook at Christopher Edward Mace. Like I said, support Aftermath Wrestling. Support the Simple Man, Noah Foster. Like I said, support NoDQ.com. And like I said, like Noah would say, we're trying to grow this wrestling community together. Like I said, at the end of the day, let's all be respectful of each other. We're all into our own opinions about what we feel we like and love about wrestling. So let's all just try to respect each other and our opinions, and let's just keep it civil. Simple as that, as Noah would say.
Yeah, this is all just us talking about wrestling. Like, my opinion is no greater than anybody else's.
It is.
But the thing is, you're not likely to sway people on their opinions, so why bash them about it?
Yeah.
Where can we find you, Cindy?
Follow me at nodq.com/Cindy. That's going to take you directly to my Twitter page. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram at simply_c_ok, where I post photo art, wrestling, and also Instagram story of my independent wrestling adventure, which, by the way, this Saturday, All Pro Wrestling Presents Uncensored is going to be there. That's right. SCU, Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, and Frank Kazarian is going to be there. Who knows?
Awesome.
Maybe someone make a surprise appearance, so who knows? And also make sure to follow my YouTube channel at simply_c_ok, or second YouTube channel at Tyson Pop Production. And also, do not forget, you guys, and I'm going to keep a promise to hype it up, April 4th, Wrestling Trivia Challenge, 60-minute Iron Man match. The champ, Greg Cherry versus Jeff
The
Meacham.
next champ.
Meacham.
We're on with Cherry now.
That's right.
Hey, where's
That's okay, I can just turn you off.
Where's power button?
And of course, long live the PA sensation, Greg Cherry. That's right. Make sure to hit that notification button on the NoDQ.com YouTube channel because you don't want to miss this. Aggressive in nature, y'all.
So I want to thank you guys for joining us for the NXT party tonight. And if you would like to join us for a future NXT party and help us review an episode of NXT UK, come have a spot of NXT with us. You can find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN.
Just go across the shirt this time.
Or if you just want to find me on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. Fuck bomb. You can also find this gentleman on Twitter.
At No DQ General.
Fuck bomb!
I was waiting for that one again,
Oh,
you son of a bitch.
at No DQ General.
That No DQ General, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR, exclamation point.
Exclamation point.
Yeah, it never works well with Cindy. She's all the way out in California. She's got a delay of like a half a second.
I like when Colin holds up the exclamation point. It's pretty awesome. But like Steph and I are both administrators. Cindy, I made a moderator not too long ago. Chris is always starting up some great conversations as well. So find us, join up, join the conversations, enjoy the funny memes, funny jokes, and yeah.
And come join the NX team.
Yes.
If you don't have Facebook, if you don't have Twitter, let us know in the comments how we can get a hold of you. Email works just fine. Case in point, Chris Mace got me by email. We got him on the show. All you need is Skype, and then watch NXT UK, and we record the episodes typically on Thursday night, Friday morning about 1 o'clock.
Eastern time.
Eastern time, yes, thank you. If you like our videos, you should click the like button. That's underneath me. If you like all of our videos, you should click the subscribe button. That is underneath Jerry. Somewhere in there is a share button. Share this video with your friends that like NXT, especially if they like NXT UK. It's a growing brand. We've been covering it from episode 1, and we are looking for new members of the NX team. We'll put you in the group chat on Facebook. It's always fun. It moves.
Great stuff.
Yeah, it moves a mile a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Also, come find us on Aftermatch Wrestling. That is our channel. If you want to get these videos something like a half a day early. We also have exclusive content. We will be recording another episode of the Rated R Report after we get done with this. We're going to have Chris and Cindy. Maybe just Chris. Cindy, I know, has got to get some sleep soon. But we did have Cindy on with Noah last night. So that episode of the Rated R Report is coming up soon. You can find that on Aftermatch Wrestling. Excuse me.
So it's such tomfoolery going on in those things. I'll go ahead and cover some of this. Once you subscribe to Aftermatch, if we get 100 subscribers, we will start doing our What's NXT, which is our NXT program live. So you can ask us questions and watch us be severely uncomfortable when we don't know the answers.
So look us up on Aftermatch Wrestling.
You're talking.
That's all one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. And other than that, for the holiday, Chris Mace, for the Duchess Cindy G, for the General Jerry Slaughter, I am of course the Wizard of No DQ, Stephen Osborne. Thank you for having a spot of NXT with us, and we will see you in NXT time.
Cheerio.
Cheers, y'all.
Have a good one.